KINGSTOWN, fresh sound.
All right, good morning, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welcome to Activated Mornings right here on WFM 99.9. Now, you can get interactive with us. You can call us at 457-9997 or send us a WhatsApp message at 457-9994. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube at WFM 99SVG. All right? So for those of you who have joined us already, thank you so much for joining us. In studio this morning, we've got Dr. Gerald Thompson and yours truly, Christal, to take you up until 9:45 this morning. Good morning, Doc.
Morning, Christal. Nice seeing you once again. I love the hairstyle. I love the variety and so.
Yeah, I tamed the beast this time.
All right. It's a good morning to all listeners. Activated Morning. Listen, it's a great. I tell you, this weekend.
How was your weekend?
We're having some wonderful weekends.
Yeah.
A lot of plans that I wanted to do, and so I've been adjusting them. I went to a nice birthday party. Clayton Bergen had a birthday. He had a party.
Again, bashment?
A little bashment.
Oh.
I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that on radio. That's private as well. But
Is it?
I enjoy the company.
That's
and
nice.
lots of other things, and so
And lots of other things. Okay. Don't talk about the rest business. All right, lovely. Apart from that, the weekend was good.
Weekend was good.
All right, good stuff. How was my weekend? Sometimes I forget what happened over the weekend.
Oh,
2 days. I mean, Saturday I'm already in the it's back to work zone. So sometimes I don't even get to enjoy Sunday because you're so focused on we're going back to work on Monday morning, just a couple hours. But I hope that you guys had a wonderful weekend. You can share with us on our WhatsApp 79994. So over the weekend, it was quite eventful though. There were a number of events across the island. Of course, people would have taken in the bars and the restaurants and the limeade and so on, the beaches and the rivers. Kudos to you. Let me say congratulations once again to, I don't know if you were paying attention to what was happening for Trinity Carnival. I mean, it's a week off, but I don't think I said it on video. But congratulations to Skinny and Nyla for placing second in Trinidad's road match for their carnival. Additionally, there were a couple of accidents. Some of them were very upsetting because they involved minibuses, but that was talked about last week. Who feels it knows it. I hope that those persons who were injured, the police would have said this morning that they were already discharged from the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. So please take care on the roads of SVG. Cannot stress it enough. And who feels it knows it or felt it would know it. Additionally, on Friday, saw a video on social media concerning the removal of some vendors, and that's our first stop this morning. Some vendors in KINGSTOWN again. Now, a few months ago, the KINGSTOWN Town Board made a decision, and it was a very difficult decision. Not going to go down to the backstory for that one, to remove the vendors from the streets of KINGSTOWN for several reasons, including cleaning up KINGSTOWN, making it a free flow for walking, even pushing your strollers and for wheelchairs and so on, and to just clear these spaces in front of the establishment. So the folks who are on the ground floors who are renting and so on, who have businesses, sometimes it's difficult to get in and out because the street was so cluttered with vendors. So space was provided for them in various markets in KINGSTOWN, and they have since occupied. However, some vendors still ventured out onto the streets of KINGSTOWN. Now, what they are saying for the most part, even without asking them, they will tell you up front, they are not making as much money or any money inside the market. Most of their money, their revenue is earned outside on the street, being in the face of their customers. So how do we meet in the middle to ensure that they make money, as much money as possible, and the streets of Kingstown remain as clean as they were the very first week after the large cleanup. So I don't know if Doc, if you wanna jump in at some point with
I'm
how you
curious
feel
as
about
to
this.
your view. Curious, what do you think of this, Christal? What exactly, when you say meet in the middle, right? Very often you cannot really achieve exactly what's there in the middle. It has to veer maybe on one side or the other, and then for individuals, one individual says, look, I'm going all the way. In other words, I'm staying inside of what has been, the facility has been provided. Another individual say, I'm going the opposite direction. I am heading back out to that corner spot that people are traffic. I'm going to slow them down. They have to stop and look at my goods, and then maybe I might get a better sale. I'm curious to what your view is, because I want to say more on top of this. I think it is an important topic.
One day or 2 days, like Friday, Saturday. Now they allow persons to like sell coconut water, snacks, the folks who sell like credit and so on to be at certain spots throughout the town. But for the most part, everybody has to be off the streets. What if we just allow them one day or 2 days to and do it in a strategic way? But then again, on Fridays, they set up tents inside the market where you normally have parking, and persons can go there and vend. And you just walk off the street and you go inside and you see everybody. So to some extent, they're already sort of doing that. But that still is not meeting the needs of the vendors in order for them to make as much money as they possibly can.
Yeah. Let's look at this. Let me try and apply a little bit of science to it. Suppose there are 2,000 customers who want to buy goods, and the 2,000 customers have a certain amount of money in their pocket, in their purses, to buy goods. They're looking for goods. Is it that if the individuals are in a particular space, locations that have been earmarked for the selling of goods, that the customers will say, I'm not going there. I'm not going to keep my money in my pocket, and I'm not going to spend. And therefore, as a result, the folks who could make the money producing the goods and selling the goods are not making the money because the customers are going without goods. I would like to think that customers, especially on a Friday and a Saturday, are going to buy a similar amount of goods. I'm open to the theory that, yes, they will walk past and they wouldn't buy. But if you allow 10 or 12 customers to come and occupy the strategic corners, let's say, or they block off that middle of the road anymore, and you have 10 customers there or 20 customers. That's not what you're saying, I know. Then all other persons will say, I am going to come out too, because why should they be allowed to come out? And so then what about on another day? You know what I mean? If that's allowed on a Friday, do you think that is going to allow them to make enough money or whatever on that Friday? Or is it that I've observed, I know a lot of people from Rose Hall, and so they come up and bring their goods, not all day during the week, but they bring up their goods on a Friday morning, right? Early in the morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, they reach up and they set up their stuff and so. I've always lamented that they essentially are gonna sell on a Friday or maybe just a Saturday morning, and they're gonna make $1 and go back to their farms during the week, but they take that Friday off and so to come up. To me, it's not a very complex issue. I think
if it's not so complex, how come we can't resolve it?
Hear what I'm saying. I think it's the time. It's the time. Just before Christmas, people were saying, because they had put off this thing they'd built those structures, they'd finished them, and they said, listen, we want to do this for Christmas. I said, no. Put it off until after Christmas. I remember that comment being made. I think you remember you reading that once. Let's put it off until after Christmas. Let's get a sale
Some of
for
them are
Christmas.
saying that.
Let's get a sale for Christmas, and then you could do it after. But this is now after. I think the human mind is that Gerald Thompson, want to get the best spot that I can make the most money. And the level of fairness to everybody. I think there are probably some people who never made as much money as they did before because they were not they were abiding with they may probably making more money. And the people who got some good positions and are now making less money. I'm open to that particular thinking. But the volume of money, the amount of money that's being spent is probably about the same. Now, this is where we can go, Christal. I remember...
Sorry, before you go forward, being spent by who? The consumer?
The consumer. There's a guy, Kwame, Clackham, who used to always talk about, we need to do shows, we need to promote, we need to have other things to get people coming to the market. Of late, I've been understanding the real value of food and also the hygiene associated with food. God, we definitely can't go back to having goods on the ground where people are walking, where dogs are walking and so forth. Christal, there's a whole big issue now about hygiene of food.
Should always be that way.
And if we would ever have problems exporting our goods, therefore local people will also have problems eating our local goods. You know what I mean? Because we just as value as where we export to.
Right.
So that the hygiene in relation, how it's kept, how it's washed, if it's off the floor, if it's presentable and everything like that, has to be taken into consideration. But I think we also, I want to tell you, Vincentian food is valuable. The quality of Vincentian food is actually high. Let me tell you something. We're now finding out a lot more about sweet potato and about yams and about the dasheen and the vegetables and so forth. And we need to get people in this whole thing about non-communicable diseases. We need people to start eating more local greens, not the canned stuff, not the fast food, not the packaged food in the supermarket. They need to get fresh stuff. And so I'm going to be appealing to vendors. Stick with it. Let people come to your presentable stall and be impressed that that stall is hygienic and that they can eat high quality food because of the content of that food, because of the nutrients in that food. And I think that there needs to be some big promotion from local vendors. So the volume, those 2,000 people with a certain amount of cash, if 4,000 people on a given, then I think more vendors will get more sale, irrespective of where they are.
How long is that process going to take?
Well, I'll tell you something. I remember. Listen, we need to start now. Christal, you and I on radio, we need to start to promote it.
Is it going to take 12 days?
12 days?
Is it going to take 14 days?
No, but you see, this is the whole thing about lasting. To have a child, it takes 9 months. You know what I mean? Maybe a little more. I think it is going to take some time, but the solution is not going to be there. Taking that backward step of saying, well, give a day where free for all. You know what I mean?
Free for all.
Set up your stuff on the street because remember, bring back the pallet stalls.
Not to bring that back in its entirety, but come up with a creative way to I don't know.
Yeah,
because from the perspective of a vendor, some people have been doing that for years. Yeah. That is their livelihood. The position that they have or they had on the street ensure that they made as much money as they
So
possibly
how do
could.
they end up going back
right?
there? Is that they have that position on the street corner, or someone else has
Right.
taken
So
it from
so
them?
everybody has to move.
Yes, but you see, how do you ensure that Christal has that strategic corner that she had before? How does she have a right
It's
to
no
that
longer
street?
it's no
Okay,
longer available.
not
There
only
are
that,
signs.
how
There are
does she
signs
go
around
back?
town
How
now
does
that
she go
says
back in front of PHV or with PHV?
shouldn't. You shouldn't be there.
No, but that is where the action was for those vendors. That's how they made a little more money than being 50 feet away. Being right in front of Randy's supermarket
So right in front of your customers.
before you have to walk through them to go through the door, right?
Mhm.
And therefore, if they don't have that position, granting them to go back on the street isn't going to work, because if they go down to Botanical Gardens or behind St. Martin's School, that's on the street.
Okay.
But they ain't gonna make $1. So there's a grade A strategic position. It's a grade B, grade C, grade D. If you're down to a grade D and an E, it doesn't. You'll be begging to stay inside the enclosed area.
Okay.
So what is
I
doing
get
is creating an unfair advantage. What you're saying is, for those individuals,
not specifically those who were at certain positions.
but how many could fit in there? How many people could you cramp into that space? It's like creating. It's like that stall that had two floors where you could go up and climb up the stairs and go on top of the thing to have a drink outside.
But by the Banana Man,
Phoenix.
you know, another thing that we should factor in why they make more money outside of the market, why they would make more money. Let me take the call. Hello, good morning.
Ready, Cash?
Yes.
Oh yes, good morning. It's 8:32. Good morning. Welcome.
Thanks for having us this morning. So we'll just get right to it. Right now, it's all about our credit amnesty program. So if you would have had any bad debt with courts in the past and you figure that you can't do any more business with us, whether it's been 10 years, whether it's 7 years has elapsed, we want to invite you in to speak with us about a cash loan. And terms and conditions would apply to this loan. We also have our cash back, where if you take a cash loan with us of $5,000 or more, you get $100 cash back, or $8,000 or more, you get double the rewards in cash back. If you take a cash loan of $4,000, we'll pay your first installment for you. Or any loan of $3,000, then you stand the chance to win a brand new television set. There's also our agricultural fund. This is in the form of a microfinance loan. It's a small business loan. This is specially targeted to our farmers and fisher folk. It's $20 million fund across the OES. We want to encourage to get your share of this $20 million in a microfinance loan. The interest rate is lower, it's below 2%. And all you need for this loan is 2 pieces of ID, your proof of address in the form of a utility bill or bank statement. We also need your proof of income, whether it's your statements, any proof that you have of the transactions that you conduct monthly. We need you to bring that in. For our regular cash loans, you need your 2 pieces of ID if you're a new customer, or 1 piece if you're a returning customer. Proof of address in the form of a bank statement or utility bill, and your proof of income in form of a recent job letter and salary slip. We are open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. You can contact us on telephone 456-325 extensions 2120 through 2124, and we are located opposite the Kingston Post Office.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for having us.
All right. You have a wonderful day.
Bye. All right. You too.
Thank you. All right, that was Courts Ready Cash joining us every single morning from 8:30 for well, it's normally 15 minutes, but didn't take that much time this morning to share exactly what they're offering. I like the agricultural package there. It's really interesting and beneficial as well. Now, We can either take a break now, or I think we should take a break. So let's take a break, come right back right here on Activated Mornings. Keep it locked.
WeFM 99.9, home of quality programming. The source of reliable news and information. Home of legendary voices and music. WeFM 99.9, the clean first sound. Visit us online at www.999wefm.com or call 457-9994. WeFM 99.9, the clean first sound.
Alan Smith and Family Bakery, the worldwide name for all your bakery needs, specializing in wedding cakes, birthday cakes, the world famous hard dough and light dough, multi-grain by special order, and now available baguette bread at all your leading supermarket outlets. And for that sweet tooth, currant rolls, jam buns, homemade sweet bread, guava and apple tarts, butter and oatmeal cookies. And for your savory needs, beef and chicken patties. Alan Smith and Family Bakery supplies bread to the Grenadines, Leeward and Woodward side of the island. Contact us at alansmithfamilybakery@gmail.com. Call us 457-8317, 457-8550, or 533-0943. Located along the main road in Camden Park Industrial Estate, we are the healthy choice. All our products are made with 0 grams trans fat ingredients. Quality is our passion. We open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Sundays and public holidays, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you for your patronage over the years and for your continued support in the years ahead.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases. So you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience, with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Are you into the agricultural industry? Do you want the funds to grow your business? Quartz Ready Cash Small Business Loans is launching the $20 million agricultural fund. All you need to apply is your ID, proof of address, and 2 references, and you will receive the funding to get the equipment, tools, products, staffing, and services to grow your business. Plus, you pay nothing down, get flexible payment terms, fast approval, and convenient hassle-free service. Don't hesitate. Apply today at www.readyfinancecaribbean.com or call 493-3840. Quartz Ready Cash Small Business Loans. Every day, we help businesses succeed.
For over 20 years, Cubano Limited professionally delivers top quality products and optional service. Located in Sand Hill in Kingstown, we are open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We supply animal feed, dog and cat food, animal supplements, a wide range of floral supplies, nursery pots, ground cover and shade cloth, and much more. We also stock a wide range of motor vehicle supplies, including automotive oils, filters for all vehicles, engine coolants, and much more. Email us today at Cubano_1@hotmail.com or call us today 451-911 or 493-7175. Cubano Limited, professional, top quality, and exceptional service.
For the best in tires and tire-related services, come to Kelly's Tire Shop, located in the Blue Building, just before the old police station in Top Kettles. We supply new and used tires in all sizes. Kelly's Tire Shop offers professional services such as wheel balancing, rotations, batteries, tubes for all size tires, new and used tires in all sizes, new and used rims, and other accessories. With over 15 years experience, come to Kelly's Tire Shop for reliable and professional service. Call Kelly's Tire Shop today at 457-7306 or WhatsApp us at 527-3893. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. We are closed on Saturdays. Kelly's Tire Shop, located in the blue building just before the old police station in Top Cattels. Drop in today.
Nothing else sounds as good as
WEFM, the clean, fresh sound.
All right, let's continue. Welcome back on the Inside of Activated Mornings for today. It's the second to last day of February. February is almost over. And before you said, Jack, it's going to be November and December, and we're going to be saying Happy New Year. All right, we're live on Facebook at and YouTube at WFM99 SVJ. You can also call us at 457-9997 and WhatsApp us at 457-9994. So somebody's saying we're talking about vendors, the issue with the removal of sticker call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Christal.
Hi, good morning.
I think they have Mr. Thompson today.
Yes, he is.
Or here on the line.
He is in studio.
Okay, morning, Doc. How are you doing?
Morning to you.
Well, I still kind of shocked that we're talking vendors, because to me, we just go in the market and buy stuff now. I still kind of shocked that we're still talking about outside. The day now, let me just try to work it now, because it's kind of hard in civil to make certain changes. So I just said to myself, let me just go and buy this stuff right now.
Well, the problem is that some vendors,
for now,
some vendors go outside to the street still.
Well, the tongue board will work that.
They have tried, right? So they actually did it last week, Friday. They confiscated some produce, and they did it before. If you're on the street where you're not supposed to be, without permission or anything, they will pick up your stuff and you have to move.
Yeah, because I saying, this is kind of monkey motion with certain things sometimes. You go St. Lucia, you go here, you go Trinidad, you go Barbados. I talk about St. Lucia where I know. You see bus line up. If you want to Kako Village, you jump in a Kako Village bus. If you go in the one in the middle, you don't tell you bus leave. You go in Tokyo, the whole place messed up. All in front of the gate, jam, car can't pass. So I say, if we're in the market now, let me walk to each side and see, let me go in the market. They want something, you know where to go. But by that side, go down by that side, you go in the back. So I just say, well, let me stand up support that for now, We don't have the street already.
Well, for the most
part. Try to walk it now.
I want to ask you, Carl. I was saying this to Chris. Matter of fact, I think I sent Christal a picture of the Trinidad market. I don't know if it got through to her, right? But somebody sent it to me about the order in Trinidad. You know what I mean? And many places you're not really allowed to do that. I'm not saying they don't have vending on the street, but it's orderly and I would say it's a lot more hygienic. But I think my feedback is a lot of people are happy that the town now seems more airy, that it now seems, as you said, you know where to go to if you basically want the goods. And you said that
you want something to go in the market. Me really push it for now outside. Daily we just try it, but sometimes also that is that we kind of leave things too long. And then now the people get own
It's hard to change the culture.
You know what?
Yeah, but let me just try.
But let me just stop you a second there. I know you want to. I want to agree with you. And let us say, when we're buying goods, we're going into those places to buy goods. You and I as customers, we go in there. Yes, sir, we're going down there. There's a point your finger so. We're going down there. Because, what do you say?
It's Carnival Tuesday.
It's Carnival Tuesday. But every day you're going to those places to support the legit vendors. I would put it that way. So that they can make that dollar that they're looking to make. They can feed their family.
Eventually, it will settle in. But also to that, Christal, I want to have a bit different than the program also as well too, and something else.
Tell me
It's
quickly.
good to hear that you're right there. As a former minister, somebody that close to the government, somebody who close to the agriculture minister, and hear courts calling, offering money to farmers. And I say, wow, look at that. That is crazy, you know. Farmers need help, you know.
Mhm.
Boy, there's a
I don't even know. But listen, I don't even know who to say. Trust me, the courts offering help. I mean, it ain't free, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, it's business.
Of
So why we
course.
can't? Why $1 million? I wish it's a pretty long to say. Sometimes it's like a big mouth boy and I already talk. But I mean, like talking to everybody. Why $1 million not even enough? But let me just put it aside now. Let's sleep and man bring a business plan, proper plan, and get a little money to start this. Because look, $5,000 can't work land, you know.
Yeah, no.
And everybody's really must start small. $5,000 can't work land.
Yes.
And let me tell you, something coming, you know, something there coming, and nobody really realize it.
What's
I think
that?
it's time, you know, people start to prune the breadfruit tree because look, they're looking at Sandals, they're looking at Royal Mill, they're looking at Lion Street.
You
Who they going to sell them? Who they going to sell them breadfruit? They will jump 80 feet too.
Yeah.
Oh, they have
I
ways
mean,
to
who they
pick
going to
them?
sell them to? Eh?
They have ways to pick them?
I like this.
Listen, when you go down to the market, they say, how much is this? Why all of a sudden breadfruit, they go home half and a good.
Oh, carrot bar.
The tree them need to prune. Look, people have breadfruit tree for more than 40 years and had them the same going up. You have to start to prune the tree them to go get breadfruit. Something hungry coming, something line up coming. This ain't our fault, you know. It's all white something, but
Oh,
the tree
like
nobody
that.
know.
Well,
Okay.
listen.
Okay.
For every crisis, there may be also opportunities. I'm agreeing with you. Let's wet our house roof. You know what I mean? If that fire coming, let's wet our house roof now and prepare, because when there have been problems in other islands, St. Vincent has supplied, whether it was Grenada, whether it was BVI, whether it was Antigua. Basically, we got to But I mean, we supply, it get down less. But the point I'm making is that look, courts start to help you to wet the roof. But I mean, where is it? Where is the government? Where is the ministry? Well, listen.
They have
do you know there is there's a $10 million US project being unfolded. I don't think they've given it enough promotion. This is big. This is the big boy.
$10 million.
$10 million US dollars. That's about 20 something.
This is real. This is real or just talk?
Listen, I tell you something.
I have to ask you.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
When projects are
listen to the rest.
And
Christal,
too. Thank you.
When projects are developed, they have what we call a gestational period. Before a woman, gives birth, she has to go through the pregnancy. Yeah,
or a dog.
Yes. Okay. No. Let's talk about it. And I'm not being misogynistic when I say that. Now,
continue. Gestation.
What happens is that the writing up of the documents and the negotiation and so could sometimes take 6 months, a year, 2 years, and 3 years. When you announce these things well in advance, 2-3 years in advance, boy, it could just take a long time.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing you could do too is to announce it the week before. You know what I mean? When it's now cooked and curried and fully ready. So there has to be a particular period. But this has been going on now for a promotion of it for about the last 6 months. It's a whole of government approach. But do you know, they had meetings up in Sandy Bay. They had one down in Chumaka. A whole ton of people came. I don't know if you heard that, Christal.
What's up?
You didn't know that? They had a massive meeting down in Chumaka. A lot of people came out to hear about it. Now, when you're hearing about projects, you're there talking to your friend and so forth, and you don't pick up all the details. But farmers of this nation start getting prepared. As that last caller say, prune your breadfruit. I mean, yes, you may want the government to come along and prune it for you as some better program, but you could actually get it pruned yourself with some advice and so from your extension service and your crop service and so. But we really have to start producing, but produce in a manner that we are conscious of the nutrients that are inside certain stuff, and that we are conscious of the hygiene, and we're also conscious of the price, both the cost and the revenue. And I think that some big things about to happen with respect to marketing and exports, a channel to really pump the money into this. And
You're talking about sweet potato? I know that
Sweet
we're making
potato?
some
But talk-
advances with sweet potato specifically.
we're not really making advances with sweet potato. Dashi, they've now started to shift a little bit to a kind of a purple type of dashi. With sweet potato, they have different varieties, yellow skin, all that stuff. But I'm talking about a whole set of other things, a whole set of other commodities that are excellent, nutritional, that will help in terms of anti-cancer, that will help with diabetes and everything like that. We really have to, because the foods we have grown to eat, just like being on that street corner you're used to, vending, the foods that we have been eating have a problem. I'll give you an example.
Have a problem?
The processed foods that we have been eating,
Okay.
I think, have some problems.
Okay. So stick up in there, right? Let me finish off with these comments there. Morning, it's simple. Start ticket the customer who buys from the vendors also on the streets. Somebody says, let them stay in the market. It's working in Barbados and other countries, right? The same way Vincentians want them to adopt the Barbados and Trinidad van system. Why not adopt their vending system too? My final thoughts on this vending situation here. It is a change, but it's, as Dr. Thompson said earlier, it's a welcome change for many people. I think more people appreciated the change than those who didn't appreciate the change. But I can throw in here who feels it knows it. I think for the most part, or sometimes you hear for the most part, people who commented and said, I feel better now. Kingstown is clear, it's cleaner and livelier in the area and what's not. They're not vendors, so they don't really understand either the process or people's backstory and why it's such a great need for them to hustle and to make as much money as possible, because you don't know what bills they have to pay. You don't know how many children they have to take care of. You don't know how many other family members. That is not to give them an excuse to break the rules or bend the rules or not respect other people, but just to understand exactly where they're coming from in terms of mindset. What I've seen that I don't like is, so now cars are able to park alongside from Korea straight up to Peppercorn, right? But vendors are placing their items on people's private vehicles. So they're sitting on a chair in between two cars that are parked, rightfully so. And you see them with maybe the toilet paper or the paper towel that's on people's vehicles. And they're leaned back, they're sitting on the height of disrespect, though. And if it is that you want people's support,
are they private vehicles or are they their vehicles?
Can be their vehicles.
Why not?
Okay, it's true. It could be their vehicles. That is true. My apologies.
Yes, because the private owner would, within a matter of a few hours, come
That's
and
if they
see
know.
that. Yeah, well, they'll be there for a certain amount of time, The person might, unless the person has parked it there for several days, the person within a certain period of time would know. Is that person bringing their car there at 6 in the morning or at 8? I'm not sure.
On mornings, by the time I get down to that side, I don't see as many vehicles down that side. Most of the vehicles are parked outside of the vegetable market.
Yeah.
So I'm leading to believe that they do not belong to vendors.
Yeah. They
But-
belong to workers and so on.
Perhaps, right? But if vendors continue to come out of the market, then people inside will continue to not make money. So if somebody inside sees somebody else going outside and they're
They're gonna
making
come out
money
too.
outside, they want to come out too.
Yeah.
And then the problem will continue and it will just continue to grow.
And,
If
and if they came out on one day, they want to come out the next day, because that one day isn't going to give them the revenue they might feel. Or if it does give them the revenue they feel, it'd be kind of addictive in the sense that I want to do this another day.
I see in town now we have some big signs that say no vending, and they're like 12 vendors are there about dozen vendors just lined up.
It takes time.
Yeah, but
It's
the
a-
hurtful part in it too is that what the market, what they're doing, they're confiscating people's items, and the vendors say they're not getting them back.
Yes.
But
They-
I mean,
they- they
I guess
probably-
for them it's something that they have to do.
They
If you
probably-
give them back, they'll just go back and do it again because we're just gonna get it back.
Yeah. You know, in terms of what I understand, when they do confiscate, they take them somewhere. It's not they're not giving back. The person ain't going back for them. So well, you move them, so therefore you take them. In other words, it serves as a kind of advantage to say, well, they took my stuff and it's spoiled, so therefore compensate me now. You buy all my stuff. In other words, it's a quick sale. It's interpreted as a quick sale to the tongue board. The tongue board may be interpreted, you have to compensate me for my goods, because some of the goods are going to be perishable, you know?
Right. And the vendors will want them to be sold off so they don't have to throw them away.
I have seen, you see, right in that area where Phil is, in the area opposite to the courthouse.
Right.
Number of vendors say, oh, Doc boy, we ought to go back on the street. They have us here, we're getting the sale. But once again, for perishable persons, as well as people who are selling their perfumes and selling their dry goods and their so forth, they're actually selling a lot of the same stuff that are in these supermarkets, in these other shops.
Sometimes more expensive than the supermarket, which
Yes,
makes
yeah.
no sense.
Yes. Well, they've gotten these things in barrels. The stuff has been sent to them by
So go check the supermarket to
relatives.
see the price.
Yes.
Take off for $2 or something.
Yes,
Check customers that they use buying.
No, the sale is done. Who's in front of them? You know, the person looks as if they could pay. Price changes if it doesn't.
Oh yikes! The struggles continue. 3 minutes on to just about 2 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Somebody said, Christal, what you just said there can also apply on drivers that drive recklessly. They say it's a hustle to make enough money. All right. Yeah. Okay. True. Rules are rules. Stay in the market.
No. It isn't just rules are rules. I think that in terms of the way the society develops, it's like the training for young people as regards how to approach things, how to do things, and so forth. These things, if anything goes, anything goes, you know, it's a free for all. I think that becomes a problem, you know.
Correct. Sometimes it becomes a touchy issue when you're dealing with quote unquote poor people. You know that. Why is it only vendors from the new downtown market having this problem? Well, I can't say where the vendors are coming from, but it's downtown. You would mostly see. Well, I would mostly see because I travel from downtown, so that's all I see. I don't go up that often, or at least along Bay Street. Right now, let's wrap this up. Coming up after 9 o'clock, we're gonna switch things up a little bit. All right, the telephone number to call when we reopen the line, 79997, WhatsApp 79994. Thanks for those who joined us on the live as well, and we'll be back with a second edition. It's Monday morning. It's